quality healthcare is of importance to everyone. But there are so many parts of Ghana that, well, for them, this is an illusion. What makes people leave Ghana for healthcare in China, India, the US, UK, South Africa? Well, the same quality care can be provided right here in Ghana, and that is why the Commonwealth Speaker Series is paying attention to that. In the studio with us to help us understand what's happening this year, Francois Lubanda is the RCS Director of External Affairs. She's here with Rodney Armstead, who is the CEO of Luca Health. Good to meet you both. Thank you very much for making the time.
Here.
All right. So first, perhaps you can walk us through the reasons why we're focusing on healthcare in the Commonwealth Speaker Series this year.
So the RCS Africa, the Royal Commonwealth Society, is an organization that sits between the Commonwealth and the royal family.
Right.
And what we do is we run programs that promote basically a better life for civil society. And as they say, health is wealth. So one of the pillars to a good living is health. We look at education and other different sector of a better life for the greater good. And so this time around, health has been the focal point for this very speaker series.
Okay, good. So how big is the problem? I mean, I know that the population of West Africa is sort of 11% of the world, and yet we have about 25% of you know, health problems. What's the struggle here? Why is it that we're finding it difficult to provide adequate health care for our populations?
I think the struggle is part of what you just experienced in an emerging, you know, economy. These things are just going to happen, and as things westernize, you begin to have chronic disease that behaves like chronic disease, you know, of what we say we compare to African Americans, you know, in the U.S. And so, what you begin to see is that the burden is largely driven not so much by communicable infectious disease, but the burden becomes driven more about diseases that are like hypertension and diabetes and malignancy. And without an orientation to prevention, many times these are silent killers. And so what happens is ultimately when someone engages with the healthcare system, they're feeling some symptoms. Something drives them to seek care. And by that time, sometimes they seek care, you know, that disease process has moved to, you know, a point where it just requires more money, more resources to kind of get it under control. So that's just a thing that happens. So understanding that, you begin the solution to kind of figure out how you address that.
So perhaps we can start talking about that. I mean, what are some of the solutions that we can expect to hear about in this this year's speaker series?
Well, once you kind of identify what the issues are, because one of the reasons why our organization got involved was we understood that there was an extraordinary gap in specialty services in Ghana and West Africa. So once you understand what the problems are and you can kind of really appreciate them, you can begin to address them. So part of what we're trying to solution is to bring those subspecialties and those specialists into the market, into the region, to create the type of center of excellence and transfer knowledge that begins to improve the talent and the skill sets that you have in the region, and therefore give people access and availability to those services. So that's a set of solution that we've chosen to embark on. But there are other things, obviously, from public policy and things that have to kind of come together to really drive the bigger solution for the greater good of all Ghanaians.
Francois, I could literally feel you having a thought there on this question.
Yes, just to agree with what Mr. Rodney just said. And so this speaker series is a vehicle driven by the RCS, and the Luca Health is a partner for this very speaker series. Mr. Rodney here is the CEO of Luca Health for Ghana. So like I said, this is going to be a platform where we are bringing in on board a health expert from all different departments. For we are not health experts, but from hospital to lab to pharmaceutical to insurance. And the whole drive is to basically promote that debate within the health sector within different departments. So it will be an opportunity to address a lot of solutions from all departments.
All right, so tell us a bit more about the dates and times and who can participate and how we can participate.
Yes, so it's happening Tuesday on the 26th of November, that's next week, at the British Council. And it's on in the evening at 6 p.m. We are looking at having from students, so the audience is going to be from students right down to those who are actually benefiting from the health insurance, so corporate workers as well as people from the diplomatic sector, and anyone really who is involved or who is a recipient or who wishes to be a recipient of a better healthcare system.
All right. Tell us why Luca decided to participate this year.
Luca decided to participate because we thought it was a perfect forum to engage the type of audience that were making the kinds of decisions to leave Ghana to go get services elsewhere. So we said, like, what better forum than to impress upon them that there is an opportunity to bring these services, to have them available here, to have the best kind of talent and technology, and that if you can convince folks in this forum then to seek care, then by their behavior and by example, it would drive others to basically say, wow, yeah, you know, we can feel good, we feel confident about the care we receive. We don't have this lack of trust around the quality of the care that we provide that's driving us to make decisions to go elsewhere. So that's the reason why we wanted to embrace this and begin to drive, I think, a very provocative and engaging discussion around what are the real issues, and then let's begin to have a thoughtful conversation about the solutions and then the horizon by which you can accomplish that. And so we wanted to just take that on and be a partner with our RCS on this piece.
Wonderful. Francois, I'll give you the final word here, and if you can also add where we can go to find more information about the event.
Sure. You can follow our Twitter page, RCS Africa. But we are also going to be all over TV and radio talking about it, as well as the British Council, who have basically the schedule and the date and time for events. And then our Facebook page, of course, RCS Africa.
All right. Listen, thank you both very much for coming in and getting us all excited about the speaker series this year. And we'll see you there.
Thank you.
Look forward to it. Thank you.
Excellent.